Dzień dobry, witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie. Mam nadzieję, że mnie widać i że mnie słychać. Dzień dobry, dzień dobry. O, super, już widzę pierwszych nadchodzących uczestników. Okay, I'm switching to English. Welcome everyone. This is Thursday, so we are speaking English. This is EduNation Global. Tell me if you can hear me, if you can see me, if everything's fine. Where are you from? That you're joining me for this wonderful presentation and wonderful topic. I hope all is fine, all is well. All right, I can see the people joining. Okay, great. Oh, you're waving. I'm waving back to you. Welcome, welcome on this lovely Thursday evening. Tell me where you're from. Okay, London's with us. Great. Everything's fine. You can hear me. Great. So I'm not going to be delaying our encounter any longer because I have a galore of ideas and a lot of slides. And although I'm not very used to speaking very fast, there is another specialist for that. I will try to do my best and I'll try to stay on time and on top of things. And as usual, I would like you to be participative and responsive and share your favorite applications because this is today what we are talking about. Applications from for authentic materials or authentic materials in applications. I think it's really useful subject. So we have London and Macedonia and Poland and Czech Republic. Great. Okay. So we have different perspective. Do we have other teachers than the teachers of English? Maybe somebody's first time with us and just learned about EduNation Global and decided to give it a try. I think it's a great evening to do that because it's the most useful, the most practical webinar you can expect, and everyone will be take your phones basically because I promise you you'll be like opening new apps and logging in and registering and trying to use it. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into the topic of authentic materials for adults, app review. And we start right away with a very valid question. Why? Why should we, as teachers of languages, hopefully not only English, because I have different applications and various languages to show you. Why we should use applications? And the answer, the simplest answers of all, is that we use phones all the time. The average use of screen time in terms of phones, smartphones, is almost 5 hours. Can you believe that? Almost 5 hours a day. So if our students or us as learners, because I don't exclude, no, I actually expect that teachers of languages are also learners of languages. If our students or ourselves, we can profit, we can take advantage of the screen time to do the right thing for time from time to time, then we should, right? We should. So let's start with the first app right away, and it's CNN. I'm sure you know that CNN is a great news channel. It's also a great website, but mind you, it's also a great application. And what can we get from CNN? Well, obviously, we can get the news on our phones, sharing a phone screen on the on computers if you're teaching online, or if you are teaching in a classroom but you have access to a projector, to a interactive whiteboard, is really easy nowadays. There's usually one simple click to connect, so you don't really have to use the website. You can also use your phone, and you can prepare everything. You can scroll before the lesson. It's a great way to start the lesson, to cool down. Maybe there will be a topic that we can also explore on a website. Maybe somebody can like everyone in a class can have their own go at their favorite pieces of news. Coming to the chat, is it possible to get a certificate? Of course, if you signed up for the webinar, the certificate will be waiting for you after the webinar, possibly tomorrow, but everybody gets a certificate. So this is CNN. So what we can get, first of all, if you show the students this kind of view, we are getting the pictures and the headlines. Great way to start the lesson, right? We can explore the pictures, or we can concentrate on the headlines. Think, for example, think about the keywords that you anticipate to be used in the in the articles, in the pieces of news, and then confront our own ideas with the actual news. Right? You see the Queen down below. Well, is does that look as a ready-made worksheet? We can compare the queen looks. We can decide which queen are we today. We can decide which outfits, which colors you prefer, and we can talk about that aspect. And it's a warm-up activity that happens, that's created by itself. You don't need any effort, that just that up. Well, of course, we have the top news, the world, the politics, but also business, health, style. You name it, they have it. Let's face it, adults, not only adults, but adults, we are talking about adults today, they do talk, do discuss various topics. They're interested in various topics. And so, if everybody has an app which is free, we can talk about the things that we want to talk about the things that are emotional, that are important for us. We can confront our views, our opinions. We can check what CNN has to say about that, and so on. All the topics, current topics, Russia's war in Ukraine, right? Great language, tipping point. There is also incorrectly confronting down in the video. We can expand it. What's in your country, in the country where you're residing when you're teaching? What's at a tipping point? What might be incorrectly comforting, and so on. So we can expand the vocabulary into our own experiences. It's hands-on, it is practical, it is engaging, and it's something that authentic materials should be used for. So we are not changing much. We are just adjusting the amount of the language to the level of our students. I wouldn't go as far as saying that, well, it's for everyone, because it's piece of news. I'm going to have some other apps that are probably more suitable for beginners. But on the other hand, even if you're working with really low levels, you can um, stop at the point of a photo, right? This initial photo. You don't even have to play the video, and you are going to have some vocabulary. You are going to have some expressions. You can give your students basic words to talk about that situation, because no matter how advanced we are in our language, this time, let's face it, in English, so I'll just use English. I'll have other languages. No matter how advanced we are in English, we all have this need, this eagerness to communicate and to confront. So we can have the videos. We can also have full articles. We can have conversations with experts. You can have subtitles, as you can see, so you can make it a little bit easier or a little bit more challenging. We can watch it over and over again, turn it into a full listening activity. Another aspect of the news, water. Another aspect of the news is that we are going to have conversations with regular citizens, a whole variety of accents, of pronunciations, a whole variety of expressions, more or less formal. When the speaking is really difficult to understand, you will have, again, subtitled version, so it's accessible for everyone. Oh, Julia. Hi, Julia. Julia is my colleague, and now she's challenging me with Cyrillic. Oh my God. All right, guys. So, as you can see, a beautiful layout as well. Not big portions of text, suitable for different levels. Again, sham referendums. We love it. We love the language. We don't love the sham referendums, though. If we are talking about the style, maybe Christmas shopping, let's talk about it. Maybe other aspects of the style, let's talk about it. And let's have those meaningful conversations, not much text, quick to use, very easy, very accessible. That's CNN. Okay. Here, travel. Travel is also there. You can see entertainment on the top. So all the aspects of our adult lives is present there. Health, no problem. Let's talk about pandemics. Let's talk about vaccinations. Let's talk about different aspects of our own health in that, well, just using visual prompts or text prompts or video prompts waiting there at our fingertips. We can talk about science as well. So whatever you need, it's there. If you don't know where it is, you can use the search and you will have a choice of the articles, videos, interviews, and so on. You can decide if it's a story, if it's a photo, if it's a video you need, if it's an article, and you can combine your own lesson. Okay, so I talked about CNN. I have to give some of my attention to the British accent, and it's the BBC. Right? Again, great website, great channel, but also a really nice application. We have a lot of applications created by BBC, actually. We have the news, where the great feature of the application is personalization. So you can choose whichever topics are interesting for you, and you are going to get them first. So it's really useful. As you can see, you have here health, lifestyle, other topics, but we have also in the news now coronavirus, and so on. So everything's there, and you can choose. You can add the topics to your topics list, and you are going to get the pieces of news related to the topics you're interested in. Um, so the news, and again, we can use it as a warm up. We can use it as a kind of brain break during the lesson. We can use it as a cool down. We can also ask our students to do it as an ongoing homework. So come to the lesson with a piece of news that you'd like to talk about. Uh, another great idea from the BBC website, 1 minute world news. That's actually my favorite because it's just 1 minute, so perfect length for the lesson. It's really packed with pieces of news, and quite often my students expand their favorite piece of news. We try to do it as a sort of dictation. So they try to write the words they can grab from the video. I play the video a couple of times. They grab as many words as they can, and then they summarize the pieces of news for me. It's really engaging. There is no time to hesitate. There's no time to well waste time sort of. It's really fast, really simple, virtually no prep. Well, if you're using World Service, you are going to get world news, of course. And as you can see, it's also it's both the text and the video, but we can also have more videos or more BBC um, related channels, both on the apps but also on Instagram. Instagram is an app itself, and all the news channels have their accounts there. And it's another way, if you don't want to download to your phone all the BBCs and CNNs and all the other news channels, this is a great way to have access to their content through just one app. So Instagram, their accounts, you are going to have reels, you are going to have stories, short videos. You can use it during the lesson. You can use it as homework. You can use it as a prompt for writing, and so on and so forth, just to engage and attract. As you can see here, I've got BBC learning English. So for with easier content, you can also have BBC Sounds, which is amazing, very short pieces of videos or pieces of audio, but a variety of topics. And this is how it looks. So we can also use this, general pattern, general framework of the Instagram to just look at the pictures and headlines to get inspired, inspire students to talk, to discuss, and so on. It looks like that. It looks like a ready-made worksheet again. And we can anticipate what kind of language, what kind of problems are going to be discussed in the video. We can decide what target language we would expect to see there. We can even attempt to write a short piece of news and then confront with the real one. Here, as you can see, you have variety of topics. We can just discuss the one that we're all interested in. All the students individually can discuss their own choice, and so on and so forth. BBC Learning English Instagram account, little pieces of language, both grammar and vocabulary, in an attractive form. Well, let's use affect or effect. Let's make sentences. to make students show us the difference or explain the topics. They can change into teachers, into instructors, and watch the video and then explain it to the rest of the class. What kind of topic, what kind of difficulties discussed in that reel, and well, what do they make of it? How do they understand it, and so on. Euronews. So Euronews, other linguists, not only English, prepare again another application with the news, but this time we are going to be speaking different languages. So if you're not a teacher of English, if you're a teacher of any other language, use Euronews, and you're going to have an access to the news in your target language. If you have any other applications that you're using of any other languages, maybe French, maybe Spanish, please write them in the chat so other teachers can use it, or other learners of other languages can use it, can install them in their phones and use them from day one forward. Okay? So Euronews, again, we can practice the language. Remember, it's short piece of news. If you have headphones, if you have your phone, your students can actually prepare their homework on the bus. Your students can listen to the pieces of news while they are driving, although for lower levels I do not recommend it. Listening in a foreign language takes up a lot of your attention. But if you're a passenger, that's a different story. This is how it looks. As you can see, the layouts are very friendly. So I really recommend it. That's Italian. Another app. Who is not using Spotify? Reconsider, because Spotify is not only about music, it's also about podcasts. So my first recommendation is 6-Minute English. I told you that I'm going to show the language apps for lower levels, and this is one of them. A2, B1 students are already managing with it. What's nice about it is that there is authentic language, like authentic material, not only teachers, well, learners friendly material, but including in a 6-minute talk where we have vocabulary presentation, initial presentation on a topic, then a piece of authentic material, and then again talking about it. So even if your students do not feel confident enough to be challenged with real English, then you can make it easier for them. It's great for all my lower level students. They have it as a challenge. They watch it. They are supposed to note down the vocabulary that's listed in the video. Mind you, there is also a transcript of it on a website. So if you are not coping at all, you can always read it, translate it word for word, and so on. But for my students, it's because of the variety of topics, because of the different levels also of the talk. It's a very comfortable way to deal with homework. It's one of our optional homeworks. You don't have time to do anything with English. Do that. Choose a listening and talk to me about it using the words that were suggested in the video. You're expanding your vocabulary. You're talking about something that you found interesting, and you are talking to me. So you probably listened to it a couple of times because you have to summarize it to me. this is all I can wish for as a teacher, right? So that my students are actually cooperating with me this way, being independent, but at the same time bringing the result into the classroom. The English We Speak, another BBC podcast, very practical, everyday English, a lot of previous listenings that you can listen to, you can implement in the classroom, and so on. Yes and No, another great podcast with the answers to all the questions that you have to answer with it depends. So if everything depends, let's learn how to talk about it. What aspects we should consider when answering the question. Really nice, nice podcast. 6 Minute Grammar. You like 6 Minute English? Check out 6 Minute Grammar, also by BBC. You don't want to explain grammar for too long? Let's try for 6 minutes. You want your students to be initially prepared for the grammar you are going to be doing on the lesson? Maybe 6 Minute Grammar is going to be fine. And they will have at least some idea what are we going to talk about. Maybe they could, try to explain it back to you, whatever they remember. So here we have present perfect with ever and never. Well, tell me, what do you know about present perfect? What do you know about never and ever? Right? So we can start with that. And then if you do your lesson, you want to keep your lesson practical, then when we are on the same page, we make sure we are on the same page, we are going to be moving forward, not introducing the grammar in itself, but rather working on it, rather, rehearsing whatever they learned as a theory, we can turn it into practice. Mhm. The TED family. So, TED Talks Daily, TED Business, TED Health, TED on Espanol, there you go, TEDx Shorts, and so on. Another great part of the Spotify where you can inspire students to listen to. And again, I will be stressing it over and over again. Remember, this is something they have in their pockets. This is one less excuse for not doing something, not preparing anything for the lesson. You haven't done my exercises, you haven't done the reading. Okay, do the app. Do one of the apps, choose one listening, choose one grammar issue, watch it, tell me about it. Don't come to the class saying, I haven't done the homework, I'm sorry, or teacher, no homework, depending on level they are. But do something with your English. You have the apps, you have the phone, there is no excuse. Uh, so again, we can watch it, we can download it. Spotify is also great because you can download it, and if you want to play it, your students as well, no internet access, no problem. You can keep it in your device and you can watch it, you can listen to it with no internet access. You can just do it offline. So really, no excuses. Coffee break, Italian, another one on Spotify. Coffee breaks come in different languages. I love them. I personally watch French, I watch Italian, there is German as well. So there is probably Spanish. I haven't checked, but I'm sure that that Spanish teachers will confirm because I saw them. I'm practically sure there is something in Greek as well. So you name the language, I'm pretty sure there is coffee break or something like it. And if you want to be more inspired choose a person that inspires you, or choose a topic. Maybe your students are interested in history, in technology, in languages, I don't know, in biology. Maybe they are business people and they want to listen to business podcasts. No problem. Everything's there. We can use it on the lesson. You can also use it as a homework. You can use it as the foundation for the presentation. You can use it as uh, an inspiration for some writing. Maybe we'll challenge them to, have sort of a daily vlog or blog of the podcasts they've been listening to, and everyone in our shared document will write 2, 3, 5 sentences about the piece of news, the topic they have been listening to. And we will inspire each other. When you make your students responsible for the material of the lesson, not only as the receivers of whatever the teachers bring into the classroom, pay attention, listen to me, because I'm the teacher and I provide you with the knowledge. If they are also the creators of actual content, it really helps. People are beginning to be more engaged and more responsible for the total outcome. And it is also really easy when they don't see the results, when they are a little bit discouraged. It is easy to pinpoint, right? Those weaker moments. Okay, well, there was no homework. There was a collection. Actually, you didn't have to do the homework that requires a lot of writing and grammar exercises, and you hate them. I get it. Sometimes it's necessary. Okay, but you hated them. You had a worse period in your life. Life happens, especially to adults. A lot of traveling, a lot of business travel, a lot of juggling the home, the work, and all the other duties that we have as adults. Well, there was this suggestion that you could do this, that. You had Spotify, you had short apps, you're scrolling Instagram. I know you do. Well, stop on BBC and just scroll through BBC alone, and that's it. We have real life English, really nice. We have the Wall Street Lab. You want business English? No problem. Another one. And of course, we have the economic podcasts. So, as you can see, all the major magazines, all the major players in the media markets, they have their own applications. They are present on Instagram. Their Instagrams are sometimes really fantastic. The Economist Instagram is really hilarious. And at the same time, they are present in Spotify. They have a wide variety of podcasts with all the major journalists, all the major experts that work for them. It's really something to choose from. If you have higher levels, your students are interested in C1, C2 language, there is no excuse. Levels C, right? The linguistic C level is a level of linguistic independence. Let them be independent and push them to be independent. It's not only coursebook anymore. Coursebook may not be enough. The real language is important, and your commitment to your own language is even more important, because I think higher level students should understand by that time. And if they don't, you should be the one to tell them. People are learning the language. They are not being taught, they are learning the language. So, the higher the level, the more independent you have to be. Alec Baldwin, Luke's English podcast, all of them fantastic sources of authentic English. Luke's English podcast has also the website where you can download all the episodes. But of course, he's also present on Spotify. He's present on Instagram. So no matter where you take the material from, it is going to be authentic English. Squid, another fantastic app. What Squid does is basically provides you with the pieces of news that you would like to learn, you would like to access. Well, first of all, we can choose the edition, if it's international or country specific edition. And then we are choosing what's interesting for us. And of course, we are choosing the language. And we are getting pieces of news from different sources. So it's a little bit different than the BBC or the CNN, because we are getting an access to international press and international internet editions of the press, and we can read different articles again. No excuses. You don't want to read a boring reading in the course book because that's nothing interesting for you. Fine. For me, it's totally fine as long as you do something with your English. You do it at the level and you do it regularly. And you can come to me and say, okay, I didn't do that, but teacher, I have something else for you that I would like to talk about. For me, then, it's absolutely fine. Audiobooks. Well, my favorite source of audiobooks actually is simply Audible. And having said that, I must admit Audible is expensive. But, well, it's a great source of audiobooks. If you have other sources of free audiobooks, but not illegal ones, but free, I would like to know, and I hope you'll share in the chat. I'm using Audible. For what reasons? Well, because it's so easy to use. I have Amazon anyway. I have Amazon Prime. So it's another part of the family, and I'm just using it. I got used to using Audible. You can have you can, well, my reasons for using it is also that I can both read and listen to whatever book I'm going to choose. If I buy the book, and I can also have the Audible version, and the book will synchronize. I love this feature very much. I use that in Polish in a different app. So I was looking for something similar in English, and Audible gave it to me. So whenever I have time, I just read a regular ebook. And if I have a different kind of time, for example, I'm walking or working out, or I just don't feel like reading, I prefer listening, then I'll just continue with the book in a listening form. I don't know if everyone likes listening to audiobooks. I personally had to learn to do that. I treated it as any kind of challenge. So I simply started small. I was listening for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Now I can comfortably listen to about 20, 25 minutes of an audiobook without being distracted. But let's face it, the lower is your language level, the shorter portions are advisable because it's really easy to be distracted. If you are looking for free audiobooks, I asked you, well, you can also find amazing assistants on YouTube, because this is one of the very popular questions. how to get hold of free audiobooks. And well, here is one girl who answers that question about Italian. And of course, we can Google it. So if you don't want to pay, there is always an option not to pay. You can download the samples. Sometimes there are free audiobooks. I just wanted to say that in Amazon there is a section called free books, and different books happen to be there. Audible books appear as well. What else is nice about Audible? They have their own original productions, and they are a little bit like, theatrical with actors, and maybe they are going to be more interesting for you to listen to. And they are usually free within the subscription. So, as far as the books number is limited, Audible original productions are usually free. And, well, you can search through Audible in different languages. So, it's not only English. Again, um, teachers, different than teachers of English, who I admit they do have an advantage, can use Audible as well. And this is how it looks. The search, the category search. And here you have some Audible productions. Audible also has podcasts. Let's call it podcasts. Conversations, interviews. Graham Norton Book Club is really cool. But they also have those typical business books to, motivational books and so on. Lyrics training, another one. Lyrics training is the app that I'm sure you know very well from your computer, but it's also an app on the phone. And actually, it is developing. There is a whole collection of languages at the moment. And I'm going to show Italian. And they have both choice and type options on the phone as well. You can use them on 4 levels, and simply some of the text pieces of the lyrics is taken out, and you either have to choose it from a couple of words, and or you can just type the word. That was what I was looking for in my mind. And this is how it looks. The choice mode, so you have this little dot here which stands for a word, and you have 4 words to choose from. This is how it looks. You can stop the song, you can repeat the song, and so on. And you can, if you're very competitive, you can be signed up to the leaderboard. But there is a premium version right now where you don't have to wait a certain amount of time. There are no limits, and you have extra vocabulary tasks, extra vocabulary activity, and you can save your words, the words you would like to practice. But I personally do not have a great need for a premium version. I'm going with a free one, and it's totally up to my needs. My students love it. And again, I tell my students, if you have no time for homework, listen to a song. If you are elementary student, listen to a song on elementary level to slow songs, the songs you know well. Listen to the songs. Try to go with the lyrics. Learn the vocabulary, learn the spelling, and you are going to be fine. Okay. Uh, all right. Now, another one. I'm sorry, I have to move for a moment because my computer says that it is going to cut down on me. That's not a great idea. But I'm here with you still. Okay. All right. And let's move forward. Lyrics training is here. I'm here. No harm done. Nothing is going to break. So let's move forward. You have again choice. Now we saw the choice mode. Let's see the type mode. Again, a choice of songs that you would like to do. And something happened here. Here is a type form. So you have to type the word, and you can also skip it if you don't know what was there. You can go back to the word if you haven't heard properly. So it's great. It has all the, it's your own pace, it's your own favorite song. The collection of songs is amazing. Everyone, be it a pop listener, a heavy metal listener, everyone can find something for themselves. Be advised, though, that, well, the harder the song, the higher the level must be, I guess, just to hear the lyrics properly. But I don't know about you, but I found out so many amazing lyrics doing using the songs in the classroom, just that I ignored or overlooked because of the heavy music in the background, or very popular chorus that I just ignored the stanzas, and it turned out to be amazing. So I hope this is going to be an inspiration for you too. Well, I still have 13 minutes, so I'm going to use them to the full. No matter what you're interested in, there is an app for that. And let's make it, the most important part of this presentation. So choose your topic and find an app. Use it with your students. Show them that the language in the phone, in this friendly phone form that they're used to, more and more used to, is really there at their fingertips. So plane tickets. Let's book a plane. Let's look for the directions. Let's see how much is the car hire. What are the hotel options going with it, right? Shopping. Let's do some shopping. Let's go to Tesco. Let's go to Lidl. Let's do the Christmas shopping. Let's throw a party. And everyone opens the phone. Everyone goes to an app. Everyone does the shopping. How difficult is that? Look at the descriptions. There are sometimes amazing descriptions in the apps. This is also authentic language that wasn't created for the learners. It was created for the native speakers of that language. Here I have only examples in English, but if you teach other languages, you know perfectly well what shops are popular in the country you're teaching, the language you're teaching, what are the traditions, what kind of holidays you're celebrating, and where we should go to do the shopping for that purpose. Professional Facebook. You have business, you're teaching business language. Turn to professional Facebook accounts or business Instagram accounts. Make sure your students check the right sector of business. Make sure they are looking at a similar content that they would have they have, or the similar business that they are running, and they can get inspired how to speak about their own business, how to present it, how to, well, what are the issues that can be mentioned. We are linguists usually, not all of us, but many of us are linguists. It's impossible to be an expert in absolutely everything. With different apps, you don't have to. You can just look for an app, check the language level, because sometimes it's really clumsy, but doesn't have to be. And then make your students do the rest. So, make a presentation about their own business, their future business, the area of business they specialize in, based on business content of different apps. LinkedIn, exactly the same thing. We can get inspired, we can look for job offers, we can see how the jobs are addressed, what is the language that's being used. We can even join um, mm, a job application process. Maybe there's some tests to be done, and we can profit from that. Who knows? It's up to you and up to your students. Booking of hotels, booking of restaurants, different kind of booking, different websites. Turn the language, change the language into the target language that you're teaching. And, the sky is the limit. We can plan holidays. We can discuss different options. We can set a budget and ask students for a great proposal. And on top of that, maybe somebody will use it and will tell us about it. How were the holidays planned by the group? That would be awesome, actually. Car rentals. Again, you need a service. I'm sure there is an app for it. You just have to hit search in the app store, and the rest is done for you. WhatsApp, that's my last part of this presentation. So probably all of you know WhatsApp as a communication activity. um, it can be a great option for many students who do not want to log in. They don't want to share their data. WhatsApp just needs a phone number, and that's it. So actually, it's a real alternative. And now, what we can do with WhatsApp? Well, we can join a group. We can create a group, and we can, with our students, either from one group or from couple of groups, we can basically communicate. We can communicate with emoticons, we can communicate with voice messages, with pictures, with videos, with memes, with jokes. We can put there everything. I really like having WhatsApp groups with my students. I really share a lot, and I encourage my students to share even more. And we are having a good laugh there. We are also sharing any problematic issues. And mind you, you don't have to be part of it. If you value your time, if you're managing your, work life balance, you don't have to be an active participant there, but you can be inspired by the students content. You can be inspired by their photos, you can be inspired by what they post, their jokes, and so on. And it can be a great source of the knowledge about the students. And let's face it, the more we know our students, the more personalized content we create for the lessons, the more practical it becomes. And now you could ask me actually, well, Gosia, but how that's authentic English? And this is where I was going the whole lesson. Well, authentic English is also our international English. There is no one English in the world. There are plenty of Englishes, and our students, as citizens of that world, many of them working in many international environments, many of them students preparing to be living in a world of international contact, they have to be aware of that. They cannot be intimidated just by the fact they are not native speakers. They cannot be intimidated just by the fact their English isn't perfect. My English isn't perfect either, but here I am speaking to you, and I can see that you like my presentation and you're saying that my apps are excellent and my tips are awesome. So why should I be ashamed of my Polish accent that I most obviously possess? This is also authentic English, and it is also an English that we should take advantage of, no matter how we encourage our students to watch the apps, listen to listenings, process the knowledge, make summaries, or tell us about the articles they've read in the app, the songs they practiced. Production is also important, and their production is authentic. So you can write in the app, you can type your answers, but you can also record them and, well, say what you want to say with your voice. You can also record a summary of the piece of news you've read. Maybe you will record a description of your own apartment. Maybe you will record a story of your day, like this daily vlog thing. Well, the sky's the limit. Tell me about things that you have in your closet and that you're planning to wear throughout the week. Oh, tell me what are the things that you're going to keep in your closet and which ones you would like to replace with new ones. Tell me about your cooking while you're cooking, right? Or tell me about your dinner the moment you've eaten. Um, Really, anything will work. This is also an important input into your students' language. It may be stressful. Many students have a language barrier. Maybe this is the way for them to break it. They don't see the students, they are just recording, hit the button, release the button, and it's there, it's sent. You cannot do the whole story. Do one sentence. It's going to be fine. One sentence plus one sentence every week. We are going to get to a 5 minute, 10 minute speaking in no time. So those are my ideas. It's 10 o'clock. And I just officially finished my presentation. I hope you like the ideas. I hope you are inspired to use the apps in your classes, outside your classes, to inspire your students to use the apps. And thank you for the nice responses. Thank you for the activity in the chat. I'm super happy to meet you. I'm super happy to be here for you. I hope I delivered. And I guess see you next time. Thank you very much. Have a lovely, nice evening. Bye. And of course, I wanted to say one more thing. If you have any questions, any doubts, you need more help, do not hesitate to contact me on my social media. Do not hesitate to contact Edu Nation Global because we are here for you. Thank you. Bye bye.